All right, so the future isn't here yet. This is an important concept for this video. I've been thinking about it, obsessing about it in my head, honestly, and it's my future, it's your future. What is in store for you? What's in store for us? Don't you feel like something is coming? Something, your life, the way it's been rocky and it's, you know, how the future is so cloudy and who knows what it brings. Don't you feel like something's coming? Like you're about to collide with fate? Don't you ever feel that way? I feel that way. I feel like something big is coming, something powerful, something I need to be ready for by the time it comes, something I'm not ready for yet, and that's probably why it hasn't came. I'm trying to get ready in any way possible, getting better attitude-wise, getting better, and we'll get to that. The main part of the concept is the future's not here yet. So let's do this. Let's do this exercise. While we exercise, let's go into our head, and I'm going to give you whatever future you tell me on this. You tell me. Tell me your dream future. Tell me, if all goes right, this is what your peak future looks like. This is what your ultimate future, this is what the lottery looks like to you. This is what, no better case scenario than this. Okay, so I'm going to give you mine. I like to say, okay, worth 2-3 billion. But then you go, you got to 2 or 3, why not 10? 10, and then, see, that's where some sickness is in my head right now, and you could probably feel this yourself. I can't fathom I can fathom some dream state where I'm worth 2 or 3 billion, and that's a great first step. But when I go, okay, why not 50 billion? That's when in my head I go, ooh, that sounds not feasible. That's a sickness. I need to change that. And that's a whole nother video altogether. Think in your mind, what if I made 10 grand a month? What if I made 100 grand a month? Keep going. What if I made $1 million in a month? Well, shit, don't think about all the taxes you're going to pay in California. Okay, keep going. What about 365 days in a year? What if you make $1 million a day? People are making 300 million a year. Okay, you made $1 million a day. Some of you will have a hard time spending that. A lot of you will have a hard time even fathoming it, thinking it's even possible or it's even a reality. Keep going. That's a sickness. We need to get this out of our head. Why is there such a thing of a fantasy that you can't even come up with it because it sounds so fake? All of the future is fake right now. Nothing tomorrow is guaranteed for you. Let's get back to the exercise. Okay, so let's go, Nick, 10 billion. Stop it at that. 10 billion peak future. You're worth 10 billion. Companies, however it happens. Now, I'm super fit, and I'm not 60, I'm not 50 yet, I'll be early 40s. This is what I want for myself. Trying to be realistic. You know, I don't want to be in a Ferrari with gray hair. I want to be, well, shit, I'm going to have gray hair within the next 5 years. So keep going with me. Keep going with me. Come up with your peak future. Okay, so I'm worth 10 billion. I'm super fit. Probably still single, if we want to be honest. And this is what I want for myself. This is my dream future. I'm focused. I'm probably not even really spending the money in the way that you think someone would be worth that much money to spend. I'm imagining me driving the same car I'm driving now and pulling up to someone in a Ferrari and they're stunting on me and then being like secretly worth 10 billion. It'd be like, you don't even know. Be like, that's a nice Ferrari. Great job, young man. But they don't even know. That's what real billionaires do. They do. People be driving them, honestly, if they're busy enough, they have helicopters and whatnot, because just for productivity's sake. And all their employees be driving Cadillacs and company cars. But the billionaires that we all know, there's very little of those things that they pay. They spend $300 million a month on all of their company's leases. But they don't be spending on depreciating assets like that unless it's a company car, a fleet car, that kind of thing. So learn those tricks as we get there. But your dream future, worth 10 billion, super fit, super successful. The world is yours. You can do whatever you want. I imagine myself playing basketball every day. I probably have when you're worth that much money, yeah, you have your own court. You have people that come in and they're just like dedicated training partners working out with me. Imagine I'm done off of the court. Let's do this. In your head, follow me with this. Come up with your dream situation. I'm done playing basketball, my mid-morning workout, just like I would now. As soon as I step off the court, there's some butler holding a towel. I wipe my face. I grab some sports drink that's that I probably own the company of. And that's a weird thought to have when you're in 8th grade, to want your own sports drink company. I'll get into a whole nother video. I drew a picture and I wrote a name of a sports drink company when I was still in high school. And that company is now one of the most well-known brand name companies, and I'm sure it didn't exist when I put it down on paper. I wrote the name of it and I drew the packaging of it. I did that in high school, and now it's one of the most popular sports drinks. You would know the name if I said it. So, but the idea is shit, but it's kind of funny how it all came true. I have that picture still. Anyhow, I get done with basketball. I'm out, there's people that handle my business, but they come to me with the most important, the creme de la creme off the top. So I'm being most effective. People mistake being busy with being productive. I want to have people that work for me that are paid very well. And they come to me with stuff that absolutely needs my attention. That's how you delegate. Real leaders create other leaders. And this is what I'm imagining for myself. Any car I want, any vacation I want. Really, only thing that limits me is my time and my inspiration. And so I would probably live a life of what a lot of these billionaires do, is exotic stuff like trips and skydiving, imagining stuff like that, because the only thing, money doesn't limit them anymore. Time somewhat limits them, but you can multiply time. You can get more time via having more people work for you and having more things taken care of in the same 24 hours as one person could. That's how you multiply your time and get a lot more done. And then the only thing that limits you is your inspiration, your ideas, your perception of how to handle certain, because side note, imagine some tricky problem. I read a story. A guy had a science problem written on the chalkboard, and a student who was late for class came in and thought it was the homework and writ it down real quick because they were late and everyone was gone. And then they solved it the next day and turned it in. But that thing that was written on the chalkboard by the professor was actually an infamous, never been solved equation. And the person just had a different perception of it. It was like, oh shit, that's the homework. Let me do it. And it gets home, and whether they struggled or not, solved it the next day. It's the way that you tackle things. See, if someone had told him, this is the most unsolvable thing, guarantee he wouldn't have been able to solve it. But he came in thinking, that's what I'm doing tonight. Boom, boom, boom. Did it. And then so it's how you perceive things. You understand that lifestyle that I just painted out? It's all about putting yourself in good vibes, developing a life of good vibes. So imagine that life for you. I would love to have more examples for you, but I really do narrow my focus to a few things I like playing basketball, eating and drinking healthy, being very active, but owning companies, operating companies. Just there's so many different little scenarios I can give you that fill out my dream life. Now, see, the future doesn't currently exist, nor does it. So let's create a fantasy. And here is, I've been real rambly just because my diet and the amount of caffeine that I've been on. I'm not thinking straight, but some of the times the best thoughts come out like that. So I wanted to voice to you that I feel that everybody, regular people, they have dreams, they have goals, and almost everybody, just about everybody, it never really comes true. Those are just dreams, right? And if you strive for them, you get farther, and then it's like shoot for the stars, you land on the moon, that kind of thing. So it's good to have huge goals because it'll take you farther than if you had regular goals and met them. I'd rather have mega goals and not reach them, but get farther than if you had reasonable goals and you actually reach them. Your goals should always outreach what you're really capable of. They should pull you. You shouldn't push for your dreams. They should pull you because they're so massive, they're so big, they're so lofty. And let me tell you right now, they're possible. Here's the thing, though. I have a feeling, like I told you at the beginning, I have a feeling that unlike everybody else, they have dreams, they have goals. I wonder if these are premonitions I'm having. premonitions, where these are a glimpse of my future. These are a glimpse of a potential reality. You know what I'm saying? Multiple realities. This is a potential reality that does take place. And then because sometimes I see it so clearly. Sometimes I just feel it. Sometimes I'm telling you, like at the beginning, I feel it's coming. I feel something big, something in a collision course. It's coming fast and it's coming head on. And I don't know when and I don't know how and where. But I'm telling you, I feel something great is coming. I feel I'm on a crash course of fate. I'm driving down the road of destiny and something's coming my way fast and heavy. And I want to be ready for it. But what if these goals, these dreams that some of us have, the select few, the ones that are willing to sacrifice, the ones that are willing to work, what if these are not goals? What if they're not dreams? What if in a way it's a premonition? What if in a way you actually are seeing the future? You actually are feeling maybe an alternate reality? Do you know the theory where there's multiple realities, there's multiple yous going on different scenarios as we speak, layered on top of each other? So there's the reality you're on now, and there's a reality on where your whole life is the same, but right now you're eating Cheerios. You know what I mean? The ultimate, brought to you by Cheerios. Disgusting. Unless they pay me. You see the caffeine, you see the brain. But I do want to accept this way that I ramble, this way that I think in a jumbled way is because of the ADHD. I want to accept it as a gift. And I do very much like it. And that's why I reject the ability to take Ritalin or ADHD. I just stick with caffeine, basic caffeine type stuff to help. Some of my most creative ideas come when I get off hand, and this is why school didn't work so well to me. Is I get onto the next idea, and I start a lot of things, but I don't finish a lot of things. So eventually in my life, I will harness this power. See how I'm on a different thing altogether? You're going to have to stick with me in this. A lot of this stuff is just for my future to look back at this day. It's not really because I expect a lot of viewers. It's because it'll be written in stone. When I come down from the mountain, it'll have been written in stone. Because nobody would believe it unless it was carved into the stone. This is carved into that YouTube stone, that online, soon-to-be blockchain stone that they can't take away from you and you can't hide from. It's going to cause a lot of problems for some people that can't hide what they did back in the past. Anyhow, and already is for some other celebrities and whatnot. But the way that I switch onto the next topic, and I've already forgotten what I was about to say, this does come in form of a blessing. Even though it's very frustrating, it's what people would know as a major side effect of ADHD, is not being able to focus, being hyperactive, but, hard to explain. But I do consider it a gift. I consider it a superpower. And I think it's the way people are designed in some instances. And I think people have better and worse cases than others. And granted, some people should be medicated and assisted in that way. And others will just try to find a way to harness it or manage it or die trying. So the idea that I'm coming towards something, I'm coming towards some fate thing. I don't know if that's a thought other people share, I don't get around in a way that I don't see people have. It's hard to have conversation and deep conversation with others when they're so, I think, just regular people. They're just, bless their heart, they're just regular. And I can't talk about regular things. I want to talk about business strategies. I want to talk about, hey, lady, you could be an elite athlete right now if the next 5-10 years you did this, and this, and we just think about everything we're truly capable of. I want to talk to you about your business, and you're doing, $80,000 a year, and I can take you to $8 million a year, and this is what we'll do, and let's scheme, and let's come up with ideas. This is the kind of life, this is the kind of brain that I have, where it's like, come up with hustles, come up with schemes, come up with ways that we can help more people, come up with motivation, come up with, let me help you. You're on your diet. Let's think of all the things that we can take out that are bad. Let's audit. Let's look at it. Because anytime we can find room for improvement, That's room for improvement. You thought you were doing great now. Think of all the things you could do better. You thought you were progressing at whatever rate you are now. Think of all the things you could do better and how your future you is now more effective and doing all those things better. Think of all the things they can do better from there. It's hard a concept to convey is that exponential growth. It's like I can burn this many calories where I'm at now. Now imagine me in a year with 20%, 10% more muscle and 30% more mental capacity. Now I'm there. Now jump into that future. Boom, you're that more capable. You can then do even more. You can get more done. So in the same 1 hour time frame of a workout, you can accomplish more. You're more capable, So the future you is very capable if we play this right. The future you, but let's get back to that feeling. I don't know if other people share that feeling, but I do feel like something's coming, something big. I'm not content. I think that's a sin to be content. I think it's a sin to be humble in the way that people describe it these days. I think it's and that's hard because you were raised a certain way. Nick, you were raised to be, you got to be humble, and society says that because don't you dare stick your head out. Well, ain't that a bitch? 6'9". Don't stick your head out. That's why I don't go on roller coasters, because they have height minimums, but they don't tell you the height maximum. I don't trust that shit. Them roller coasters. Have you ever seen a 90-mile-an-hour roller coaster heading to a steel beam? I haven't, and the day I do will be my last. Anyhow, you can see how these damn thoughts, I got to find people or a camera that understands me, and I got to find a method of conveying this that people can so that people can follow my many different ideas. And I have a notepad of billions of dollars worth of ideas on my phone. I'm telling you, inventions, things I've thought of, and I thank God I'm writing them down. That's why it's so important to track these, because there's so many coming at me. As damn more of a Gemini. It's a Gemini thing, I guess, but I feel like it's a superpower. I do feel like it's a blessing, and it's very frustrating in and of itself. I feel like it does alienate you, and it makes you very lonely. Just being I'm not there yet, but a high performer. I'm talking like a billionaire, that type of high performer. Like you can't be down with other people talking about the Kardashians. You can't. That's like regular people shit. You know, if everything that you put on your processor, like your computer, every window you open, it slows down the computer a little bit more. So you have to make sure every window you open has got priority. There's a reason why you got it open. That's what I want to cultivate as a life where some people take care of. So as a ADHD billionaire, hey, maybe I come up with a supplement that helps with ADHD. Maybe I come up with a company that helps people with whatever. See what I'm saying? There's ideas. But I need to find someone who can manage me, someone who can manage a team who manages me, a whole team of people who manage a team of people that manage me. That invent this, boom, boom, boom. Give it to one person and say, create a team. Start working on that, and I'll come over and oversee things when my head will allow me to. But that's your project. Boom, 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 and I'll finance it. And then, boom, I need this team. You guys create this idea that I have. I think that's how I get it done. I've seen it all along. That's how I get it done. But you got to pay them. You got to trust them. You got to understand that nobody will ever see it the way that you see it. And if I see the product as a 10,000, whatever that means, you got to understand giving it to someone else, it's going to end up being a 7,000. You know, it's going to be a shade of what I imagine it, and then I have to jump back into that circle that's controlling it and give them more power, give them more horsepower, give them more ideas as the visionary, as the source of all this. I don't know where it comes from, but that's my goal, to get to that. I don't know where that thing that's coming to me, but I think that's one way that this damn video is going to be worth. This damn video is going to be 10 different titles. I have no idea what to call it. 20 minutes long. I'm talking about ADHD, Ritalin. I'm talking about Meek Mill. They They told me to turn down. They said that I need Ritalin. That's the thing, man. It's those ideas, like, they get me going. They get me, I got to get off the bike and I got to do something else right now. I got to, it's the pros and cons of that ADHD, I'm telling you. But the source of the video, the source of why I sat down here and wanted to talk to you today, Nick, is that don't you feel it's coming? But the idea of the video was, before I got off the rails, the actual video I was talking about was the future is whatever you want it to be. So describe it now. And then I did space. Done? ? Okay. Now identify, what does that person do? What do they watch? How do they use their time? How do they use their money? That's important. Because you watch any successful people, they say saving money should never be a concern of yours. Never concern about, this is hard for regular people to understand, and even people trying to break out of that mold, never should be worried about how much money you spend, as long as you focus on making more money. So you're worrying about something that's on fire or a little flame. You're worrying about lower the flame. It'll burn less wood. What you should be doing is worrying about getting more fuel. You got stockpiles of fuel. We can make the fire as bright and as bold as we want it to be. And we can warm up the world, we can heat up. So that's one thing successful people understand, is that money's worthless unless you spend it. Money's worthless unless you invest it. Money's worthless unless you put it into a business. It's fuel. And you're going to throw that money away into that business that didn't work. It's all lost. Money that's into that business is all lost. But you only got to win. If you got 100 businesses that you're trying to work on, 100 inventions, you can lose on 99 of them. One of them goes successful. It pays for everything. That's the risk you got to take. That's the gumption you got to have as a high performer, as a billionaire, as someone who's worth 10 billion, Nick. You know this. Future me looking back. You spend money, you wasted so much money. Your expenses are so high. What did you think? You're going to be worth 10 billion and only pay $1,200 a month in rent? What do you think you were going to be worth $1 billion? No, you're going to have millions of dollars, maybe a month in rent. But that doesn't matter because you're creating. That's what you were put here to do. That's what you were given these crazy thoughts and inability to stay still to do. I'm going to have a damn assistant just sitting on a chair next to me, staring at me as I sleep. So when I wake up, I can say, this. I do that all the time. I have a lot of videos of just dark. It's just dark on the video, and it's me actually recording myself in my sleep. Not while I'm sleeping, but I wake up, and it's a dark video of me talking to my camera, saying, an invention where you do this, and the inside of the drawers light up, or the wheel turns this way, and it activates this. I have them all saved in the cloud. I pay for a lot of cloud storage. I try to keep them all in a specific folder. But soon I'll have someone who manages that, and someone who says, I have a supplier for that. I have connections for that. Don't even worry about Nick. I'm handling it. This is what you pay me for. I'm going to start doing this, and this. Check back with me once a week to see how the progress is going. Talent. I just want to be, I'm just a visionary. I'm just the mind behind it. I'm just the mastermind, but I need those generals that can handle it, those people that have loyalty and they trust and they say, let's ride this ship out. Let's see where we can go. Let's go on this journey together. And they understand I'm going to be erratic and I'm going to be, I'm tired of people all my life are like, you just have to get a control of it. You just have to get a control of your ADHD. You just have to have some self-discipline and sit down and sit still and shut up and learn what the books say, and don't think unconventionally and be reasonable and be safe. Now, I have to take myself back out of my own personal shoes, because I would be offended. My spirit's offended when I hear that. But I have to understand that person speaking from a voice they think is their own, but it's just a voice that was given to them by someone else. And that's why I feel pride in the voice that I have in my head, because it's not a voice that anyone's given me. It's a voice I don't know where it's coming from. You think you're crazy, because it's not a way I've heard other people talk. It's not a way I don't know where these thoughts are coming from. I don't know where these feelings are coming from. It's not something I've ever seen anyone do or act or say. It's not something I've been taught. It comes from somewhere else, and that's what scares me, is because I don't want to let that somewhere else down. I don't know. I feel it. I feel it's coming. I feel that big fate moment's coming, but I don't know where this all comes from, and I don't know where it all goes, but I want to go, and I want to go fast, and I feel like life is so limited. If you and I can both agree that there is a specific day that you and I die, that means today is one of the 10,000, the 500, the 2 more days that I have to live. Today is one of them, and once I live it out today, it's a blessing. You make it through the day, you wake up the next morning, take that Post-it note off of that giant stack of the days of your life, crumble it up, it's gone. You can't do anything in the past anymore, it's gone. So don't dwell on the good and the bad or anything that happened in that day. Be here now, be here now. We don't know how many days we have left if it's a giant stack of Post-it notes, but put as much down on that note as you can before you have to crumble it up and throw it away. Don't leave a blank page every day. That's what I'm telling myself. Don't leave a blank page. But I feel it. Something's coming. I feel like if I can harness myself, that I'm capable of something. I'm capable of helping others in such a grand way that I just want to keep moving. I just want to keep moving, because one song I listen to is "I'ma Do It." I think it's by Fabulous, well-known rapper back in the day. And he says, "I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it." It's just like that, I don't know what the answer is, but I'm going to go. I'm going to find it. I'm going to hit my head against so many different walls. I'm going to find, you're just stumbling in the dark. Keep stumbling until you find that doorknob and you get to the next door. You're going to be in the dark. Once you find it, then too, it is not some illumination where you see the whole path in front of you. It's always going to be guesswork. When you're creating your own path, there is no path to follow. You have to trust in your heart, trust in your faith, in your education, and different ways that you see it for yourself. There's this light that guides you, but you don't know where it comes from, and you don't even know if it's really the light for you, if it's someone else's light, but you're just following it blindly. We call that faith. And I'm trying to just go. I feel like this is the right way, this is the right way, this is the right way. It's hard when you're creating your own path and you want to go in 100 different directions. Get a team of people, someone that can manage you, and send a general off in that direction, and we can all conquer together as a squad, as a team, as an empire. I'm trying to come up with a new word that squad's not the one. I don't like group. I don't like empire. I don't like that word. I like the concept. I don't like the way that everyone else uses that word. Anyhow, you see what I'm saying? I can't keep a stable thought, but it's time to get out of my head and say 5 billion. It's time to get out of my head and allow for myself to just jump around. This is who I am. I want to lean into that. And back to the beginning is, remember when you said, what if I made $100,000 a year? And go, okay, keep going. 100,000, $1 million a year. That sounds like people do that. I know people that do that. Okay, 10 million a year. Well, that's pretty big. Now we're talking, just don't think of the taxes. Now, what if you're doing $1 million a day? That's only 360 million. And we know there's people out there that are worth like 180 billion, Elon Musk, that kind of thing. And keep going, $1 million a day. Okay, what about $1 million an hour? You're making $1 million an hour. See, that's where the sickness kicks in my head. And I go, this is not something you're exposed to. So you know what? The sickness kicks in your head and says, hey, you can't do that, Nick. That's not even a real thing. That's not a real thing. And why isn't it? That's a sickness. We have to start identifying that. $1 million a day sounds ridiculous. $1 million an hour, 24 hours a day, so 24 million a day. Bump it up, round it up, 30 million a day. What is that, 365 days a year? But the original concept of the video was, if you're that person who makes $1 million an hour, let's cut it back. No, let's not cut it back. $1 million an hour. Calculator, let's do this together. Calculator, 24 hours times $1 million times 365 is, what is it? $1 billion? 8,760 millions. So that's 8 billion, 8.7 billion. See, that's $1 million an hour. Is that $1 million an hour? See, there's people worth way more than $8 billion. That can't be right. $8 billion is exactly my point. Whether I did the math right or wrong, there's people out there doing that. And there is a reality for some people. And they probably don't even consider the money. They just keep going, they keep going, keep going. It's the minute you stop and smell the roses that you lose your momentum. Anyhow, let's get that sickness out of our head. Let's lean into who we are. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it. That's it.